Regardless of what you think of Alec Holowka after hearing some allegations that were pinned against him in 2019, allegations of emotional abuse, things that to various degrees made it so he was hard to work with sometimes, and maybe a shitty friend to some people. Regardless of all of that, and before all of that, Alec Holowka was a big deal in creating the indie scene, especially here in Canada. Starting with a big breakout hit in Aquaria, a game that he co-made with Derek Yu of Spelunky fame, and later on working with Maddie Thorson, who made a bunch of small things and then made it big with Celeste, and working on Night in the Woods, which was of critical acclaim as well. He just was kind of everywhere for a long time. I'm not here to really support him or vilify him. I'm not sure what was true, what happened, how bad things were with him and his personal affairs. All I'm here to tell you is that it's unfortunate that somebody as creative and talented as Alec Holowka, and somebody who was kind of the grandfather of the indie scene, especially here in Canada, would tragically end up taking his own life. This very podcast was inspired by what Alec did with his Infinite Ammo podcast, where he would talk to indie developers and really dig in with them into their games. I owe a lot of who I am and the things that I'm interested in to Alec Holowka, and it was a pleasure to be able to speak with him. Rest in peace, sir. And I hope you enjoy listening to our talk circa 2013 to Alec Holowka.
I guess we could just start talking and then it'll lead into this.
Right, this is a natural intro.
It's already happened.
Podcast verite.
And you're listening to me. I'm Paul with Nathan, as always.
Yep, that's true. We're back, actually, season 2.
Season 2.
Ooh.
I think we were back.
Season 2 already started. You didn't even know it, though. So, hey.
It started 6 months ago. I just haven't edited it yet at this point. So
yeah. Apologies to Ed. And anyway.
Poor Ed. Anyways, who's our guest today, Nathan? Come on.
Mr. Alec Holowka, a.k.a. Infinite Ammo Guy.
You got my name right.
Yeah.
There you
I'm
go.
impressed.
Do people pronounce that wrong?
Oh, they usually say Holowka.
Oh.
Alowaka? There's no extra A or O in there?
No, I don't get it. But
and you say it all the time on the podcast.
I do, yeah. I'm trying to train people to say it right. My own. That's the only reason I have my own podcast. It's just to,
That's probably the most important reason to have one, honestly.
I actually found out that I'm saying it wrong. Because I was interviewing a guy who's Polish, and he's like, "No, it's supposed to be Holowka. It's supposed to be
yeah, yeah."
So there you go. That's the danger of having a podcast as well, is you find out you're doing it wrong.
Even you got called out.
Did
that ever come up as part of your family? Like meetings?
No, it's never. Okay. No, I was the first to figure that out.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool, but nobody changed it. Like nobody started doing anything differently.
Yeah.
Nathan, how do you pronounce your last name?
It's just Roar.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think
it's not Roar. Roar.
I don't know how you'd pronounce a 4-letter, like one syllable thing like that differently, but I think there was a Vaughn like hundreds of years ago. At least I hope there was, but I don't know. Von Roar,
Von Roar. Yeah.
That sounds pretty badass.
That is pretty awesome. Nathan Von Roar.
Yeah. I might have to just tack it in there at some point. If I ever make something, put it in there. Other than, not that podcast.
I was going to say, like...
Oh, you don't even include the podcast. That's...
I know. Like, thanks.
Like a...
Oh. Well, now that that's out of the way, thanks, Nathan.
All right.
Okay.
How you doing, Alec?
I'm doing good. It's hot here today in Vancouver.
Okay. There seems to be a series of heat waves happening in various places around the world.
Yeah. And people are like, there's a heat wave in Vancouver, and that doesn't really mean that much. Like, everyone's like, this summer is amazing. And it's like, yeah, it's like 27 Celsius. Like, it's nice. It's hot because we don't have air conditioning.
Yeah.
But it's not that hot. Like, it's not insane. So, yeah.
Like, today was pretty insane. Like, just to briefly talk about the weather.
Most exciting topic.
Yeah, especially considering how this probably won't be like current to the times. This isn't this
Right.
week, right?
People
So,
will be hearing this like a month later.
but okay, there were heat waves. It was hot, so you could probably guess when that was.
So you guys are in Calgary, is that right?
Calgary,
Yeah.
Alberta.
Nice.
Yeah.
That place that got flooded. That was
Yeah,
one.
it's
big
been crazy weather and everything.
Nathan actually cleaned up the flood.
Yeah, it was
Single-handedly.
Wow.
No, but yes.
He was part of a crew.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
job for the summer, I guess. But
Yeah, doing your part for your country.
for my country,
Yeah, exactly. For the motherland of Calgary.
Yeah.
ensuring we could have that stampede thing. But,
Yeah. Which went off without a hitch, I guess.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, there was like less recital time for some of the stage performers and all that, whatever, but it worked out. I guess lower attendance than last year, but it was the 100th anniversary last year, so that doesn't happen all the time.
And mosquitoes everywhere.
Oh God.
Ugh,
Yeah.
Can only imagine. That's scary.
They're so bad. But anyways, you're in Vancouver now.
Yes.
You were, well, when I started talking to you on Twitter, you were in Winnipeg, I believe.
Yeah, I grew up in Winnipeg, and I kind of helped start an indie game scene there.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that was just that, like, I was lonely, and like I knew a few people who made indie games, but I wanted to try and find more.
Sure.
And I wanted to try and create like a scene because I would just be working in my apartment, and it just sucks. Like, it's lonely and boring to work on your own, at least for me. Like,
Sure.
I can do it for a bit, and it's fun. You could go write some music on your own or code whatever.
Mhm.
But at some point, you want to show your work to somebody, and you could do that online. You could do it with your friends, in the city and stuff. But if they're not into game development, then you're going to get feedback that's pretty generic, like, "Oh, good job, you made a thing," or like, "I don't care," or something. And it's like, that doesn't help, And yeah, it's different sharing stuff online, I think, than sort of actually being like, you can imagine going to work in an office, like for a game development company, and you'd have your peers and you'd be excited to go to work, or you'd be, worried about going to work, but there'd be some element of going to work. You'd have to get up and go somewhere and do something. So in Winnipeg, I was trying to like just go work at cafes to motivate myself, and it'd be like, oh, there's other people around. I kind of pretend like I'm working in an office or something, but
Sure.
and then we'd have game jams and we'd fly people in. So lots of friends from around North America who are game developers, and that would be really cool and motivating and stuff. And it would, we'd have people crashing at my apartment, like 10 or 12 people.
Nice. Yeah.
This giant sleepover for those things. And that was like, oh, this is really cool. And like so many awesome people to talk to, and it's so exciting and inspiring. And then they just all leave. And be like, so everything's just boring Winnipeg stuff, and
like the weeks immediately following that is just kind of
it's kind of hard
down.
because it was like, it's like, oh, there'd be sort of an afterglow period, oh yeah, it was great, and then you're like, yeah, there's nothing to, there's nobody to go talk to about this
Now
stuff.
back to real life sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Winnipeg was always kind of like that. It kind of felt like, if Clark Kent Superman kind of thing, where just like a no-name loser guy most of the time, and then when I'd go travel to GDC, I'd feel like people would come and be like, oh, I love your game. And like, oh, people know that I do stuff and they like it. Okay, that's cool. And then you go back home and it's like, just, oh, whatever.
daily
Everyone
grind at the daily
Yeah,
grind.
it's kind of like, I guess there are like really cool people in Winnipeg, and there's a cool organization called New Media Manitoba that would often help us organize things, and they champion all the things that we're doing, and they're really cool and they get it. But there's lots of people in Winnipeg who just don't get it, like, because it's more of a sort of old-fashioned-y kind of thing going on, where people just don't understand games. Like, I did this thing at New Media Manitoba. It was like a career day thing, and I was the indie game guy, like, which is a weird thing. The one guy, like,
Nice.
they're like, hey, you can make your own games, and it was kind of 50-50. Like, parents would just be creeped out. Like, they'd come up with their kid and they'd be like, what is this guy? And he just sits at home and makes games. This is horrifying. And then but the kids would be into it most of the time, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the parents would get it. and that was cool. They'd be like, oh yeah, you're being creative and you're doing stuff, and they could kind of see like, oh, my kid could be creative and do stuff, even if they don't go into this as a career. But other people are just like, no, you need to like get this like traditional career and you know. So there's a lot of that kind of thing. Whereas in Vancouver, it's totally different. Like, there's a culture here of going to work at game studios. So there's like tons of schools built just to prepare you to learn how to make games and all that stuff. So it's a totally different vibe. Like, there's a lot less of that, or I haven't run into any of that. Like, what, you make games? Like, what? So everyone's like, oh no, that's cool.
Huh. Like,
So-
how long were you kind of trying to pioneer a scene in Winnipeg before you
Oh,
just decided to move to a place that was more fostering, I guess? Like,
yeah, it's weird. I guess I originally left Winnipeg when I was 19. I lived in BC for like 3 years. That was for a girl, not for games. It was kind of for games too, because at that time I hadn't made Aquaria yet, and I was just sort of like, maybe I'll work for a game studio or something. And I was almost about to apply to like Relic or Radical or one of those aren't named Vancouver companies.
Sure.
And then Aquaria started to take off, like not the sales, but just the development of it started to take off. And I was like, well, I guess I'll do that. So it was kind of like that close to like doing sort of a generic-y job thing. Before that, I had just been working for different random startups, like little like, oh, like in Winnipeg, there's one called Complex Games that like I quit university after my first year to go work for them. And it's just a bunch of dudes trying to start a game studio and really know what we're doing at all. But I learned a lot, and they're actually still around. They're like the one game company in Winnipeg that's kind of legit. Like, they hire 30 people and they actually make games and they make money. Whereas there are a lot of studios in Winnipeg that are sort of just studios in name, and they take government funding and they don't really produce anything. It's kind of gross. Like, there's
like
government.
at all, like, it's not even.
They produce like stuff, but it's not like a finished product. It seems like a lot of them just don't. They haven't made a game before. Like, a lot of them, they're just like, I want to be in games because money, and then they get funding. Like, there's one studio there called Zenfry or something like that, or Zenfree. And there's a dude, I think he made short films or something, and then he pitched this augmented reality game to the CMF fund, which is a national fund, and I think he got over $1 million.
Holy crap.
And it's like money you have to pay back, like, at some point, but only if like your game actually succeeds.
Okay.
But like, this guy's never made a game before. Like, to me, that kind of like blows my mind. Like, it's cool in a way because I mean, he's hiring other people, he's keeping other people employed. But on the other hand, it's like, is the game actually going to work out? Like, is it going to? Because really, what you want when you've got a fund like that is you want to see companies making their own money eventually, right? Like, oh, they're bringing in money, they don't need the funding anymore. The funding got them kickstarted or something, but now they can just. So the other weird thing in Winnipeg is there's a film industry that seems to be sort of built around government funds, and it seems like they wouldn't be profitable without them. And the funds have restrictions like on what kind of content you can have. So there needs to be like a certain amount of Canadian content in it. So there's like shows based around weird Canadian things that like people are not really going to be into, but they survive because there's funding for it. It's like this weird.
Like, there
To me,
might
that
not
seems
really
like-
be an audience for it, but it meets these weird list of requirements, so it's allowed to continue. Like,
Yeah,
is
they
this
can, like-
National Film Board stuff, or who is?
No, I don't think it's National Film Board. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know actually what the fund is, but National Film Board stuff seems pretty badass to me. I don't know. At
Yeah,
least the
no, that's-
old Stuart McLean. They're not Stuart McLean. I forgot
Norman
that guy's.
McLaren?
Norman McLaren. Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
Too many
no,
Scottish
his animations
dudes.
are pretty.
Yeah, Norman McLaren is like a Canadian hero. But yeah, so I mean, like, obviously government funding can lead to really cool projects and stuff, but it's just weird sort of seeing from the inside, like, these teams that are sort of just there to get funding, and they don't even realize it. Like, they don't even see like that their projects are kind of like not. They don't seem likely to work out to me anyway. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. But Vancouver seems different. It seems like there's a lot more like, or at least there used to be a lot more larger mainstream studios. And a bunch of them are like closing down recently. I think like 3 or 4 in the last year shut down.
Like Rockstar Vancouver moved to Toronto.
Yeah, Rockstar moved. Radical got
closed after
shuttered
Prototype
by-
2.
yeah. There's a couple other ones too, but
Activision. Yeah.
yeah. It sucks because there's all these like sort of neat. They were sort of like independent-ish because they were just like they started up in Vancouver and they hire whoever and they're doing their own thing and then like they just sell to like a larger company and then that large company eventually shuts them down. It's kind of like it's too bad. But then all the indies are doing good here, and the indie scene is huge. Like there's a group called Full Indie. It's a meetup group, meets once a month, and like I think it's capped at 150 people.
Oh, okay.
Holy crap.
So there's like more than enough demand for something like that.
Yeah, and it gets fully booked within like half hour usually.
Oh, okay.
They put up an event and they're like, 150 people have said they're going to go. And like,
We've been kind of trying to take the temperature here in Calgary, but
Our group has
not
like
sure.
10 people.
Yeah,
That's pretty
there's some
good.
fun. There's some
Reminds me
fun
of
nights
Winnipeg.
though, but yeah,
mhm.
maybe we need to organize more stuff or something like that. I don't know. I've been kind of like,
Cow Jam. It's coming.
Is it actually happening?
I don't know. But
Okay.
there is now a Google page for it, so you can go look at
Okay.
that now, but there's nothing on
That's
it.
been in the plans forever, eh? The
Okay.
Cow Jam.
Oh, yeah.
We were hearing about it like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've definitely heard about it periodically over the past. Maybe
Yeah, Vieco is really into it.
Okay.
Yeah,
He is super into it. He's going to make it happen somehow.
somehow.
So good on him, because I
Yeah,
don't know how
hopefully.
the hell it's going to happen, but
Yeah, it'd be cool to see it
it would
Uh,
be.
take off.
There's
but-
not a huge demand in Calgary, I don't think.
Is there or like I
Well,
mean the
you
game
kind of-
jam I was at had a decent turnout. Like that was not bad.
Mhm.
The global game jam. So I guess it's the biggest
Right.
one.
You kind of find people that you didn't realize like were even there. Like when we did the first TIG Jam Winnipeg, which eventually became Peg Jam or whatever. That's when I first met Noel Barry. And he's this dude from Winnipeg. He's like, I think he was 17 or 18 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And our friend Chevy Ray came to Winnipeg for that jam. And Chevy and Noel met there. And it was kind of like this really cool thing where Chevy just kind of like zeroed in on Noel because he could tell that Noel was trying to do all this really cool stuff. And he just started feeding him all this information. Like Chevy's he was teaching at VFS for a while, teaching game design.
Mm-hmm.
And he just feeds information to people like super fast and really excitedly and stuff. So, but like Noel just found out about that through the TIG Source forums. I'd never met him in person or knew that he existed in Winnipeg before. So I was like, that was really cool because like, we're having this jam. I don't know who's going to come out. So I'll like fly some people in and stuff. But then it's like, there's like a couple people locally who are like amazing. Like, and that's worth finding even if like a lot of people who came were local and not amazing.
Okay.
They
Sure.
still had a really good time and stuff, you know. And they're still part of the community and it's cool. But they're not like the kind of people who are like full-time indie. They're just like, I'll just dabble in this a bit, you know.
Mhm.
I'll come and hack on some stuff and that's cool. But like it's cool to find people like Noel who are like full-time indie. So now Noel's actually living with us here in Indie House, Vancouver, with Chevy and Matt Thorson, and so that's cool. So we
How
both
many of
left.
those
with-
are there now? Indie houses.
There's one, I think the first one I heard about, or maybe it was the second one, is in Arizona. And that's
Okay.
the one with Steve Swink, Kyle Pulver, Aaron Robinson, Corey Nolan. So
Okay.
like two couples. I did a podcast with them. They have their own podcast too. I think their site's indiegamehouse.com.
Okay. And they do a bunch of live streams and stuff now, or not
I don't know
yet?
if they do live streams, but maybe
Okay.
they should if they don't.
Like we talked to Kyle some.
I know
time
Kyle
ago.
was really into the idea of doing live streams, but he didn't know if anyone else in the house wanted to.
Yeah.
No.
They seem a little bit, they seem less close than we are. That's the impression I get. Like,
Oh,
we-
at Vancouver.
yeah, like I think in Vancouver we hang out and talk a lot more. Let's talk about everything.
Yeah, because the way they made it sound is that it's kind of like when Kyle gets home, another guy goes to work, sort of thing. Like they never see each other.
Yeah, which
So-
is totally like we're pretty different. We go and do things together. Like, well, it's a big group.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like kind of like a weird family or something. Like last night we went to our friend Ryan's place for a barbecue and just all went. And Chevy's partner Hannah is also living with us, and her dad has been visiting. He's from Australia. His dad's just staying over for like 2 weeks. He's like a cool guy, just hanging out with everyone. And then we just went to this barbecue all together. And I don't know, we do stuff like that. So I think it's a little different vibe than the Arizona one.
Yeah.
And then there's the Cambridge Indie House over in the UK with Sophie Holden, Terry Kavanagh, Inkrapare. I forget what his real name is. That dude. And maybe one other guy.
Okay.
But yeah, they also seem a little bit like they don't talk as much. That's the impression I get. And they're also splitting up in the fall. They're going their separate ways, which kind of made me sad because I think they were one of the first to like do that.
That's kind of too bad.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder like how long these things last.
Like, how long has your group there been?
Oh, we've just started. Like I moved here. We pretty much all moved in around October, or in the fall, kind of. And Noel came like more like January, March-ish, I think.
9 months.
So it's still kind of new.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so far, it's been great.
So far, so good.
Yeah, so far it's been amazing.
Maybe we'll have to do a follow-up in another 6 months and see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Biannual
checkups on the situation.
Biannual, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of weird for me because like I don't really want to see it stop.
Sure.
So it makes me wonder like, oh, what's going to happen if people want to like at some point they're like, I just want to go move over here now. It's kind of like, oh, okay.
I want to leave you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't know if that's going to happen eventually or not. Like, how far would it go? Would it go to the point where we're like 60 and we're still living together in like a senior's home or something? It'd be kind of cute in a way, but
in a way,
yeah. Like, because actually, originally it was supposed to just be me, Chevy, Noel, and Matt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere around November, I think Hannah's lease was up, and she was looking for somewhere to live, and it was like, oh, she was asking us if it was cool if she moved in here, and I remember thinking like, I was the only one who was like worried about it.
Yeah, it's like, no, you're gonna split up the group.
Yeah,
don't get Yoko in here. What are you doing?
I was kind of just like thinking like, oh, if you have like a couple,
yeah,
and they're doing their relationship stuff, and then like everyone else is there, like, is that going to work? Like, are they going to get into arguments and stuff? And like, and so far, no, like, not that I've seen. Like, everyone just gets along. Everyone's super open about everything. So I think that's why it works. Like, I think if people were more secretive, we'd have a problem. But really, if someone's feeling shitty, they're just going to talk about why they're feeling shitty.
Okay.
They're going to be like, oh, I had like a crappy day doing this. And then everyone will just hang out and talk about it and do something. And then it sort of doesn't matter anymore.
Almost like an AA meeting.
Yeah, it's just sort of, I don't know.
Everybody just
gets
like, together, talks about stuff.
Yeah, it's not like necessarily everyone, but it definitely different combinations of people are just sort of like, someone will go to the kitchen and make food and somebody else is there, you have a conversation, and then sometimes it snowballs into like everyone doing something, sometimes it doesn't. But the cool thing is there's like enough like different connections that like there's always somebody around to talk to if you need to talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like when I've lived with girlfriends and stuff, it's just been like one-on-one conversations. And if somebody's, fed up or tired, you're screwed. Like you can't talk about stuff. There needs to be like a period of just waiting for, and this is not the case here. Cause like, maybe like Chevy's exhausted, but like somebody else will be around I could talk to, or, whatever.
Okay.
So
whenever like your mind is racing, you have someone you can.
Yeah. If it's just like, if I'm like, oh, I'm having a crappy day, like I can't get anything done, I'll just go leave my room. And usually there's somebody around doing something I can just hang out and then kind of just forget about what I was stressed about and come back to it when I'm feeling better about it. Whereas if you're like living alone or with a partner, I think it's harder to sort of do that. And so I think like when you're just stuck in like a one-on-one situation, it's a lot more brittle, like the support that you get from somebody. And it's weird calling it support because I don't think anyone here thinks of it as like support. It's just like hanging out. Mm-hmm. But when there's sort of enough people who understand you, who are around to talk about stuff, it feels like this really cool like support network sort of thing of just, yeah. So So it's hard for me to imagine sort of like, oh, like, am I gonna move out sometime, live with my girlfriend? I'm like, I kind of don't want to. I'd rather live with a bunch of people who all work together really well.
Sure.
You know, including my girlfriend.
Mhm.
And yeah, I tried that for a bit and it worked pretty well. So like, problem is the girl I'm seeing lives in another country, so I don't get to see her very much. But yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I think it's different from what people normally do.
Now I'm just practically thinking about like looking around my place here. Like I just moved in with my girlfriend, and there's just like tons of piles of stuff everywhere. Like I'm just like, did you have to get rid of a bunch of stuff just practically during the move, or
No,
four people's stuff piling up in the same space, or is there more than enough shelves and whatnot? Just practically speaking,
we have a lot of room here, which is cool. Like we got lucky finding a place, I think. Like Noel and I had been visiting Vancouver in August a year ago, just to sort of try this out. To see, like, before we moved in with anyone, like, oh, can we actually do this? Like, we were pretty good friends with Chevy and Matt, but, like, I was like, I need to actually try living with these guys before I move across the country to, like, you know, I don't want to do it if everyone's going to be screaming all day or things are going to be crazy or whatever.
Okay.
So we were, kind of like a trial run prototype indie house thing. And Chevy and Matt were just living in downtown Vancouver in an apartment. So the four of us were living in this 2-bedroom apartment. There was like no room.
Yeah.
But it actually worked out really well. Like we all got along perfectly fine, even though it was really cramped. And Hannah was coming over a lot too, which is kind of funny. So it was like the 5 of us were doing it in this really cramped space. And we were getting along totally fine. So it was like, yeah, if we get like a house with 5 bedrooms, then we should be good, because then there's like enough space that, okay, if I want to go chill in my room, I can ignore everyone, you know, for a while and then come out when I'm ready to do that. But in terms of a lot
of like common areas in the house still, or like
there's like a kitchen, living room area, and then there's a den, and that's where the TV is, and there's also like Matt has his drum kit, and I have like my little MIDI keyboard thing, so we jam sometimes down there.
Oh, okay.
Matt's bedroom is really big, so sometimes we just go hang out there. And yeah, so then we have like a porch in the back, and like we've got lots of space, so we have people over a lot too.
Is it pretty, like, it just sounds kind of day-to-day is not like structured really?
No, not at all.
Oh, Thursday nights is like...
No, there's no structure.
I find that kind of, that's ideal. That's the, like, when I come, when they're not, you know... It's
interesting. It's just sort of like emergent right now. Like we're not really trying to like make it be anything specific, which is kind of good, I think. Like we're all kind of open to, like we're all pretty accepting people, which is what makes it work. I've never had someone come to me and be like, why are you doing that? That's stupid. You shouldn't do this. Like commenting on my life choices or whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it's going to be anything like what I've heard of like you're not hitting your milestones or any kind of weird.
Oh, there's a bit of that actually. There's a bit of, but it's not like pressure from other people. It's like it's your own stuff. Like Matt had a lot of deadlines with Towerfall.
Okay.
And we were around for those deadlines, and we're kind of like there to talk to him about it and stuff. And so that I think that helps.
Like specifically to like get it ready for launch on the OUYA, or?
Yeah, like pretty much the entire development of Towerfall happened here. So. Like, I would be talking to him about it almost every day. He'd be like, oh, I'm working on that. Like, what are you working on? Oh, I'm doing this, doing that. I kind of go down and, like, check on him and stuff. He'd come down and check on me and check on each other to see what, you know, how the work is going and stuff like that, and talk about it and get excited about it. And sometimes we just, like, get high and go for big walks and just, you know, talk about because we live right next to this dike right next to the ocean. I always giggle when I say that because
I was gonna say
the word came up in conversation earlier today, just in relation to the flood that just happened, and it was just like
so mature,
it's a bit old fashioned, but that's a word. That's
it's a word. It's a real word.
I'm so glad I wasn't the only one.
I just said that for everyone listening who is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we live next to this dike. She's really awesome.
She has a lot of weed all the time.
She's really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, we live next to this dike, and it's right on the ocean and kind of this like marshland that goes out to the ocean. It's really beautiful. So you can just go walk there. It's like 5 minutes from here, and that's usually where we have these long conversations about life and girls and game design and stuff like that. And we figured out a lot of stuff. Like Matt and I are working on this game Planet Punch for Adult Swim. And I remember there's one night where we just got really baked and we came up with the whole system of how the planets were going to have different abilities and stuff like that. It's like, sweet.
Nice.
That kind of stuff doesn't really happen like when you're collaborating online. So that's
yeah. Like
it
the
definitely
back and
changes
forth
stuff.
immediacy of personal.
Yeah,
contact.
the collaboration is a lot more sort of fun in person, I think. And like, I know for music, it's made a big difference too. The way I write music now, I'm kind of more aware of how being around other people affects it. So I got this little portable keyboard that fits in my backpack, so now I can just go to like random coffee shops and like write music there.
Nice.
And like I'll like listen to whatever they're playing, you know, and get inspiration from it and sort of mix that in. It's just, I think it's about just having lots of different influences. But right now I'm working on like 3 different soundtracks or something. So it's like I need to like draw from different places or they're all going to sound the same.
Yeah.
Which would be really bad. So, but that's, yeah. I think the main thing about Indie House is just the feeling like everyone really loves making stuff and they love seeing other people make stuff. And so that's always super encouraging. Like, it's not other places I've lived, like with my family, where they were kind of like, you got to go do these chores at a certain time, blah, 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 you know. Whereas, like, this is more like, you know, like, we understand if somebody's working really hard on something and doesn't want to, you know, do something on a regular schedule. It's like, oh, they're going to stay up all night because they're working. And it's like, that's awesome. Like, go for it. It's more like driving them to do that. So that's why our schedules are all weird. Like, the sleep cycles are all over the place and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone there is full-time indie? Like, all 4?
Now, yes, we are. Chevy recently quit VFS teaching stuff, so he's going full indie. So he's trying to figure out what project he wants to do. I think he's found something in the last 2 days that he's really excited about, so like we'll see if that pans out. Noel I think he's 19 now. He's working on something that he started at a game jam here that he's going to do sponsorship for, I think. So like he kind of makes Flash games and then gets Adult Swim to sponsor them or other Newgrounds sites like that. That's what he's doing for money right now. I have money from Aquaria, but I did that Planet Punch game with Matt. Matt's pretty much been making his money off of Adult Swim games until this year. And now it's going to be hopefully Towerfall.
Like how has the OUYA launch and stuff been going? Like,
so he posted his sales figures publicly. It was 2,000-ish sales at $15. So, and he had received an advance from OUYA in exchange for 6 months console exclusivity. So
all right.
He's now recouped that advance and some money on top of it. So it's funny because, like, remember he was talking about, like, launching on OUYA, and it was kind of like this totally foreign concept at the time, kind of like, oh, that's a crazy idea. Like, it's so crazy that it seems like a good idea. It's just like such like a out of nowhere kind of thing. But like we had no idea how it was going to do, and it's like the top selling game on OUYA. And the funny thing about that is it's not. That doesn't really mean all that much.
like something I think it was one of your tweets was saying like that's 3% of the systems out there or something.
Yeah, somebody was saying that it's a 3% conversion rate or something. I don't know if it's 3% of the systems. I think it's 3% of people who downloaded it bought it or something.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Which is actually a pretty good conversion rate. Like it's pretty solid conversion rate, but it's still like. There's just not that many OUYAs out there, and not that many people playing OUYA because it's got such a crappy reputation. Like, even I don't think it deserves it necessarily. Like, it's gotten a lot better.
Well, like what I saw at E3 was definitely interesting. Like, do you know how widely available it is in like commercial, like retail stores?
I don't.
Okay.
I've seen sort of varying reports. I've seen people tweet photos like, "Oh, there's like 3 OUYAs in this Best Buy or whatever," and then other people being like, "I asked about it and they said it was sold out." You know.
Oh, okay.
I remember it's sold out on Amazon.com like the day it launched, but I was always kind of wondering like, well, how many did they actually ship to Amazon? Like they might have shipped like 10 units, you know, like I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many they're actually producing or capable of producing. So I don't know. Like I'm really curious to see how it does. I kind of want it to succeed for some reason, but I don't know why. Like it's
how
just,
open the platform is. Like
yeah, it's just sort of like the underdog, I guess, and I liked a couple of the games on there, like Amazing Frog and The Little Crane That Could. They're just these weird physics sort of games, and people are kind of experimenting with stuff, and it's like that's cool. Like I actually played more OUYA than I did other consoles, just because like it was fun even to play for the bad games.
Mm-hmm.
Like we, Noel and Matt and I would just sort of like sit down at night and boot up the OUYA and just download like 5 random games and play them. And like some would be horrible but charming. Like, oh, some kid made this thing and it's like you can see what they're trying to do and it like reminds us of what we were trying to do and it's actually like inspiring in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, like totally like this is like reminds us of when we got into games and what we're trying to accomplish with them and how far we've come, and then like also getting excited for these kids who are just getting started and how far they're gonna go. Mm-hmm. And like so I don't know, there's that whole thing to it. Which is kind of neat. Like that's sort of a new experience. It's kind of like the game maker community, but on a console. It's definitely a new thing. So, but that's not really what people were expecting when they kickstarted it, I think.
Oh, like they wanted a much more polished, like
yeah,
ready.
Kind of got the impression they were imagining like something that was going to compete with mainstream consoles, you know, which is kind of ridiculous to expect, but
right.
That's how Kickstarter works. Like people just sort of imagine the idealized version that they want.
Well, you need to generate a whole bunch of hype to get
exactly, yeah,
money incoming. So yeah, I guess expectations could get away from people. Like, I don't know. I'm definitely curious about it. I haven't, like, I don't own one firsthand, obviously, but it's definitely.
Yeah, I feel like if I didn't have one kicking around, I probably wouldn't buy it.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like I don't think I'm into it enough to actually go out and get it. But since there's one lying around the house, like I'll check it out occasionally. Mm-hmm. And it's also just sort of a curious thing from a problem-solving standpoint. Like, what could you do to make it successful? What could you do to drive more attention to it? And then also just seeing how Towerfall influenced the launch. Like, so many people on Twitter were like, I'm going to buy an OUYA just to play Towerfall.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder what difference that made, like how many people that was total. Did it actually make a dent, like a positive dent in their sales? That's kind of interesting to think about. So like even though it wasn't selling like a bazillion copies, like the fact that it did that is kind of a really cool like PR story for the game. It's like, oh, this game like sold consoles. It's like that's kind of neat.
So,
it's like
the
one
curious.
game I actually want a new OUYA for because I keep hearing so much about it and I don't know anything about it. So it looks real cool though.
It's it's a pretty amazing game. What were you saying?
Sorry, it was just it was really easy to pick up. Like I played a little bit of it at E3 when I stopped by, but it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it gets like it's pretty deep. There's like lots of little things that change the game. Like once you realize that you can dodge, once you realize that you can catch arrows while dodging, it sort of changes the whole way the game is played.
And like map to map, some of the changes there. And I don't know. Like people are making like Smash Brothers comparisons in some ways. And it's just like, right. Like there's a lot of jumping around, combat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I guess I wanted to kind of ask about this Free the Games initiative that OUYA people are doing now, because it sounds like the way you guys like had exclusivity and all that for 6 months, like so, it sounds like similar to what they're promising
kind
other
of
people. And they're getting kind of some negative feedback on it, and I don't know, like some of the opinions. It was a giant bomb piece was kind of asking other devs about the situation, but it was like they've published on XBLA and such, like not direct, similarities there. Like, I was kind of curious, like, was your experience pretty positive with dealing with OUYA folks?
Yeah, so like Matt was the one dealing with Kelly Santiago, who was working previously at that game company on Journey and Flower and stuff like that. So she is awesome. Like, she's just an awesome person, and she understands games and understands developers. So she's a great person to talk to. The new thing they're doing is it's like a Kickstarter matching funds thing. So you go on Kickstarter, you have a successful Kickstarter. It has to be for at least 50K, which is something that a lot of people are upset about. I think
like that's a pretty high benchmark.
It's kind of a strange. You have to guarantee that your game is going to be exclusive for 6 months, and then so if you complete that Kickstarter successfully, you get your 50K from Kickstarter minus all the cuts that they take, right? And then you get 25% of 50K from OUYA. You get the other 75 when your game comes out.
Well, it was like 50 when the game comes out, and then the extra 25 when the exclusivity window closes, wasn't it? At least that's what.
Okay, I thought you got. Okay, I don't know.
That's what the Giant Bomb piece summarized.
Okay.
But they might
So
have
I guess the thing is, you can still go talk to Kelly, as far as I know, and you can still get a deal, kind of like Towerfall, and just ignore the whole Kickstarter thing. They're just not making a big public splash about that because I don't think there's like a reason to. Because I think the reason they're making a public splash about the $1 million is it's like a PR thing, right? It's like, everyone come and check this out. It's exciting and But this is more like normal kind of like, if you talk to them and you have a game and you want to make a deal, then you can make a deal and get some advanced money on it, etc. So that's still an option to devs. And it was kind of funny because on Twitter I was seeing people like freak out about this Kickstarter thing. And they're like, well, I was going to, put my game on OUYA and I was going to talk to Kelly about it, but now I'm not even going to try because this Kickstarter thing. I'm like, why not? Like, just talk to the... there's never a reason not to talk to the people and just see what the options are. Like, even if you don't like something they're doing over here, they might be doing something good over there. For me, the Kickstarter thing, like, I got really excited about it when they talked about it because I thought the idea of using Kickstarter as a vetting tool was kind of cool. Like, okay, like the community vetted your game, well, we'll like throw extra money on it, like that. Oh, that sounds cool. But then when I heard about the minimum 50K thing, I was like, that's kind of weird. Because I was imagining people like Noel funding a game for maybe like 10K and just getting an extra 10K. It's like that would be a huge deal for him. Like that would be like he could probably survive on 20K a year, But the fact that it says minimum 50K means they need larger scale projects, and it's going to be hard to get that money because OUYA's audience is not very big. So how many people are going to fund a game that's going to be exclusive to OUYA for 6 months? Like, that seems weird to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, are there that many people who want games for OUYA exclusively that you're gonna be able to get 50K out of it?
I don't know, but I may or may not have OUYA in my cart ready for checkout on Amazon right now.
It's available again? Okay.
In stock.
Boom.
Yeah.
Right here on the show. I don't know. Huh.
Yeah, there you go. Sponsored by OUYA.
I hope they give me my 10%.
Yeah,
for talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll talk after the show for your 10% of doing the show anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to take it off of OUYA a little bit here. You were talking about the whole process with Kickstarter and how it's kind of cool that they're using it as like there's community support, so we're going to match it sort of thing. I want to go with the community support thing because a reoccurring thing we keep talking about is the Steam Greenlight. And I wanted to know your opinion on that because we've gotten mixed opinions from different people. So I was wondering what you think about it.
Yeah. I don't know so much about it. I think it's something I personally wouldn't want to do it. It just feels like, I guess the word that comes to mind is stooping. Like you're stooping down to like cater to sort of the lowest comments. Like I've seen a lot of comments on there that are pretty like negative, I guess, on a lot of people's campaigns. It feels like you're putting your game through the ringer kind of this like, it's like you're walking down this alley and all these people are lined up and they're like yelling and throwing things at you and you have to get to the end of it to actually release your game.
Weird gauntlet you have to.
Yeah, it feels like this gauntlet you have to run. I remember talking to Matt about it because he was considering it for Towerfall for a while, and he was just thinking that it would kind of make the game feel cheaper or something. Like it would change the perception of the game.
That's actually something Kelvin French was saying. Like whenever the green light thing is on there, like, oh, this game was voted on by the green light community. It was like it kind of ghettoizes those games.
Yeah,
it makes them seem like. Oh, these wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for this weird, like, group of, like, it's a second class of games, maybe. It seems
Yeah,
like
I think there's a bit of that perception out there. And also, for me, kind of like, one of the reasons that would give me pause is just that I don't trust the Greenlight community to be great vetters of content and great content curators. Right. It seems more like a mob of people. Yeah, what they're looking for seems more like mob mentality than, like, actual like well thought out, like, oh, this is a really well crafted unique thing. It's like, no, this is like got zombies in it, and it's like, okay, like
right, like it was actually in our conversation with Ed Key, like that game kind of got pushed through because of IGF nominations and stuff. Like it was well regarded critically, and then there was a bunch of Greenlight people that were like, I wouldn't have voted for this. Like they felt like weirdly cheated out of their opportunity to download it
to block stuff. Yeah, it's
like,
sort of like a nasty feeling thing to me, so I personally want to avoid it. I could maybe see doing it if I had like a team running the Greenlight campaign, so I was like buffered from it a bit as the personal
like
creator thing, like, okay, like these people will deal with, or one person will deal with the actual interaction with these assholes, like, yeah. Because it's hard, especially when you're still working on it. Like, it's hard enough when your game comes out and people hate it, but at least at that point it's done, I guess you might still be patching it and stuff, but yeah, I think having to do that while you're developing the game, that'd be like a difficult emotional experience, I think, like just to stay motivated. It's like, no, like a bunch of people are trying to actively prevent me from getting my game on this distribution platform. This is not a good feeling. But I guess different people approach it differently, so I think it depends on the game too. I think certain games are more suited to it.
Yeah, where people see a screenshot and they're like, that looks awesome, upvote or whatever the hell they do. I don't actually know much about the voting
system. It's like thumbs up, thumbs down, but
is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or skip. You can just opt out of voting. Like you're just like, this probably isn't for me. I'm just gonna skip ahead.
So you can still like kind of like the OUYA thing. You don't have to go the Greenlight route, as far as I know. Like I've heard from other devs that they still did the thing where you just go to Valve directly.
Okay.
But I think in that case,
list on that or something.
I don't know exactly the details. I think it's more of the political thing. Like you need to know somebody who knows somebody, so they can meet the guy in person at some conference and talk to him and like give him this angle on your game and why it's unique and all that stuff. Have a lot of press.
Sounds like shopping a screenplay in old Hollywood or something.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that.
You gotta meet
like
the guy.
You gotta have the connections, kind of. I remember with Offspring Fling, I think that's before Greenlight was a huge thing, but Kyle had to like campaign that game pretty hard, and it took a lot of time and press before he could kind of convince them to put it on. It was like, no, here's all these amazing reviews, and here's all these like developers talking about it over here, and he just had to keep sort of like working on it to get it through, and it seemed like it took a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
I know in the case of Aquaria, it was on our own site for a year, and then we wanted to put it on Steam. I think like 6 to 8 months after it came out, we wanted to put it on Steam, and we were talking to them, and they're all down for it. But we had like a minor disagreement on price. Like we wanted to keep it at $30, and they wanted it at $20. But instead of, and at no point were they like, oh, we can't do it at $30, you have to do it at $20. They just stopped talking to us.
Oh, okay. Weird.
Just like the conversation just died, and I just didn't know what to say. I was like, I don't know what's happening. So we just waited a while, and then eventually I got back to them and just said, yo, we're cool with doing it at 20. And they're like, okay, here we go, let's do it.
Wow. Okay.
So it's like, I think it's because they're all super busy. They don't have time to like explain shit to you. Like they don't have time to be like, no, we really can't do $30, but if you want to do 20, we'll do it. If not, they didn't want to write that email, I think. 'Cause they're just like swamped. So it's like, oh, we'll just wait. They have no reason to care, so like just wait until we either agree with them or do something else. So that was kind of interesting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of, I think, learning just sort of like, okay, that's how that works. It's different from other people like Humble Bundle, where I know some of the people involved in that, so it's like different. The conversations are different. It's more like you can actually talk back and forth a bit.
Yeah.
Stuff. But Steam to me seems a bit more black box, kind of like I don't know exactly what they're intending to do and why, and so. Yeah,
good news, guys. Game Dev Tycoon has been greenlit, so now we can all pretend like we're game developers.
Yay!
Awesome. I kind of did that with Game Dev Story, but
it's the exact same game, only now it's on Steam and it's greenlit.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so look out.
I heard
for
they had
that.
a cool anti-piracy measure though, so that was the main thing.
Wait, I didn't hear about this. What?
Oh, Game Dev Story.
I think I think this is the game where if you pirate it, there's like a weird thing that happens in the game where you can never succeed because partway through development your game will get pirated.
Yeah.
So you're just like, what's going on? Why is all my money keep? It's because of people like you. That's why.
It's kind of a beautiful way to do it.
Yeah,
that is pretty awesome. Papers, Please is greenlit too, so that's good.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I guess just coming out of the Steam sale and me just thinking about like being a pretty cheapskate kind of guy in terms of game sale stuff. Like I'll wait around. Like how do you choose? Like how did you go about choosing? Like where did you want to put your game's price at? Like, or do you have much say in like current stuff, like games you provide music for? Do you get that conversation? Or?
I remember talking to Matt about Towerfall pricing, and talking to Adam Saltzman about Cannonballs on iPhone pricing, and it's very similar to Aquaria when it originally came out at $30. If all three of those conversations are kind of the same. It was like, this game is worth this price. This is what we want to price it at. People are going to be upset, but we still think it's a good idea. And I'm pretty sure in all three cases it was the right idea. Aquaria was at $30 instead of being like $20. At that time, there had been a few. It was a bit different because indie games were a bit more rare back then, I think, and some games were still coming out for like $24.99 and stuff like that.
Like this is like 07?
Yeah, 07, 08. So so it wasn't that outrageous. I think now if we came out at 30, it would be like, what? Like that's, because like Super Meat Boy came out like 15 or something, and Braid came out 15.
And I don't know if it's that stuff, but like I've been kind of bristling lately at like Prison Architect and Kentucky Route Zero because I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I haven't played it. So I'm like, I'm a problem, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, like with Kentucky Route Zero, that's a pretty niche audience, I think. And for me, it makes sense. Like, same with Aquaria.
So
it's like
adventure game stuff enough.
Yeah. You're going to love this game because it's very, uniquely what you're into. If that's the case, then you're going to be willing to pay a little bit more for it.
Right. Okay.
And you're going to treasure it. And so you want the price to be suitably high. Like, it changes the way people perceive it too. Like if I'm buying a thing that's very me, like this is just it feels like it's made for me, I'll pay more, and then I'll actually value the experience more because I invested more into it in terms of financial stuff. So with Aquaria, Cannonball, and Towerfall, that was kind of the thing. I was like, these are all really finely crafted experiences that we made out of love for making stuff, and like they're made for a specific kind of audience. And so if that's you, we know you're gonna love this, and you're gonna feel good about paying that. In the case of Towerfall, like it's also different because it's a 4-player game,
right?
And the amount of like replay value you get out of that is insane compared to like I was comparing it to like ticket prices for movies. It's like cheaper than cheaper than one person going to see like a new 3D movie.
Right.
But it's something that 4 people can enjoy for like infinity hours. So it's like, it's kind of, and then everyone can just chip in like $4 or $5, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Like if all your friends get together and chip in $5, you have more than enough to buy the game.
Yeah.
Like it seems ridiculously affordable when you look at it that way, but there were still, when it came out, there's still a couple people on the OUYA forums being like, this is ridiculous. Like, how dare you? Like $15, you're insane. And I think they stopped complaining when they saw that it was like the top selling game on OUYA.
Okay.
Because then it kind of became, it was like, yeah, like if Matt had released at $5, he probably would still be the top selling game and just be making less money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, and it's like the audience on OUYA is really small. So you need to make sure you're actually making money from that and not just undervaluing your game. So, but it's a difficult thing.
Like maybe it's like the arrival of mobile gaming and stuff has kind of made that value perception thing really.
Yeah,
weird.
it depends on the market a lot too.
Like there's this game earlier this year called Year Walk, and I think it came out at $4, and people were like freaking out that was really expensive. But then I was like, I thought it was great. I don't know, like that was totally worth the money. But then there's like free to play, Candy Crush or whatever. I haven't even played it, but people talk about it.
Yeah, or Capped Out with them donuts.
Yeah, I played that stupid thing for so many hours.
We all thought about buying the donuts, Nathan. It's okay.
Okay.
You just wanted to build it faster.
I swear I didn't. I think I clicked on it once, though, and it at least gives you a few seconds before it actually charges you. So I'm like, oh, no. I didn't mean to click that. Thank you for not charging me $10 or whatever for fake game currency.
It's funny how much people will like yell and scream about it, though. Like, Cannibal was $3, right? Instead of being like, I guess some people expected it to be like $1, right? And they're like, it's 3 times as much, and it's like it's still less than like a latte. Like it's still ridiculously cheap. But the funny thing is that people getting mad and saying there's controversy over the price like just helps the developer ultimately. Once the price is like utterly, unattainable and ridiculous, but if it's a reasonable price that most people will agree with and the fringe will get really mad about, the fringe is like helping your game stay in people's minds because they're just constantly yelling about the price and causing like debates to start about it. And it's like, sweet, don't stop bitching, please.
Keep talking, keep saying talking. The name of it.
Yes, Towerfall. I'm so mad about Towerfall. Towerfall costs too much. Towerfall. Yeah. But,
brought to you by Towerfall, apparently.
Yeah. But I've seen developers sort of be really ashamed to price their games above a certain amount. And that makes me sad because it's like, no, it's worth it. And like your audience is so small that you need to charge a reasonable price for it because otherwise it's also just, it changes the way people approach the game. They're going to approach it more seriously if it's priced seriously. If the game is actually worth $15 or whatever it is, then people value it more. Then the catch is it actually has to be worth $15. It can't just be, whatever crap you made and you slap a high price on it. Like, definitely not advocating that, but yeah. It's weird how different markets are different too, right? Like anything on mobile is going to have to be cheaper somehow.
Right.
Even if it's the same game.
Well, Square keeps trying to aim high with that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how well that works for them.
10, 15, 20
all the stuff you can get on the OUYA emulator now for free. Played on my iPhone for $20. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I just wish the ports were better. Like, I feel like Square farms those ports out to like a third party, and they all feel kind of clunky. Like I remember looking at the Chrono Trigger iPhone port, like the screenshots, and the UI just threw me off.
It's so gross. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, but like, it's so easy to make a good UI. Like we make UI stuff for games all the time, and I was talking to Matt just about how much we love making menus. Like the Towerfall menus are pretty amazing for that. They like tween everywhere. Everything's animated. Like every single element like flies in, flies out, and like it's fun to work on that stuff. So I don't know why Square Enix, I'm still living in the 90s.
Yeah.
Back in the glory days. I don't know why they can't hire someone like that to just make it like, why can't they hire like an Uber fan?
Why is there no one excited about UI anywhere in their,
Yeah, like why can't they? They've got so much money kicking around. I think they could find some. Yeah, it's just sort of they just don't care, I guess.
Yeah,
it's too bad.
I'm looking at a picture of the UI right now, and it's disgusting.
What's wrong with it? Like, what in one sentence, I guess?
It just reminds me of like a Photoshop mock-up.
Yeah, exactly. Like somebody just mocked up a screenshot with a weird with
default fonts and stuff. Like
with their own thing on top of it. Yeah.
It looks like a fan-made like RPG kind of.
But not even
Okay.
because a fan-made remake
Yeah.
looked amazing.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
don't
there was
know.
that 3D Chrono Trigger remake that got shut down.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, when things like that happen, I'm always like, why don't the companies just hire those people and make the game and then make $1 bajillion? Like, I feel
Yeah.
like that's what indies tend to do. Like, there's this guy who ported Aquaria to PSP homebrew on his own,
Mhm.
like just for fun. So like, I was just like, do you want to do the iPad version? And he's like, sure. And he's made the iPad version, and it was amazing. I didn't have to do it.
Man.
It's like, this guy's just a badass, and he's like self-motivated, and like, so totally like, please work on my game.
You're making me want to jump back into Aquaria. You realize this?
Oh no.
I can't do it, man. I have a problem with the abyss or whatever. Like
Oh,
ocean
yes.
stuff freaks me
Yeah.
out. I can't do it.
It is freaky, yeah.
Oh,
I
you're saying
can't-
just ocean anxiety.
No, like there's one area of the game where it's like the depths
dark.
of the ocean where it's pitch black.
Oh, okay.
That's terrible. Like terrifying. It's just
Yeah.
the worst.
Ish. Yeah.
Did you have Sunform when you got there?
No. And-
Oh, you need to find Sunform first.
well, I'm in the sun like
Oh, the
temple dungeon, whatever. Yeah. Right now.
Okay.
And like I know where to go now, but like the first time I went in there, it scarred me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't do it again.
I kind of like that happened, and that's evil of me, but I kind of like how that game can like scar people.
Well, and it just like I have a problem with that in general because I don't like the ocean because you just know there's a bunch of shit down there that we'll never know. And
Yeah.
it'll come up one day and it'll be the worst thing. Like
This be
you
the
can't
worst.
make up monsters scarier than the stuff under
Yeah,
there.
it's true. Yeah, that was
Like
fun
Pacific
researching.
Rim
that
in
game.
theaters now. Like I don't.
Yes.
What you said
Exactly.
was there's a
Segue
rift.
perfectly into that.
Brought to you by Pacific Rim in
Which
theaters now.
everyone should go see, I think. Even
After
it's
you buy
not-
an OUYA and Towerfall.
after you buy an OUYA Towerfall. Which is actually cheaper than going to see Pacific.
That's true.
Rim.
We're talking about 3D Rumble.
Yeah.
Like if you get D-Box, you buy 2 copies probably.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? You could buy an OUYA and Towerfall if you had to take a family of 4 out to the theaters
Yes.
in D-Box. It would be cheaper to buy the system and
Well, if
the
they
game.
get snapped.
If they get snacks, forget about it. You're paying
Yeah.
double what that costs for an OUYA.
And as we
Here's
said,
like-
infinity hours of entertainment. So
Yes.
Yeah. As opposed to 2?
like an hour and
Yeah.
52 minutes. Like that's a horrible. Nah, I do like that movie though. People should see monsters fight.
Yes. Pacific Rim is pretty great. It's not a perfect movie, but it's definitely. Yeah, if you like giant robots and you like giant monsters, you're gonna love it.
There's been like an Independence Day comparison going around, and that works for me. Like it has
Yeah.
some dumb tone, but it works. And it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, this is the equivalent for 2013.
Welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth. It felt a bit more self-aware than Independence Day, I think. It was more
Yeah.
like stylistically, like we know, like to me, it felt like a live-action version of an anime, and the characters were kind of like wooden as a result. Because in some anime, the characters are kind of a little bit like you know, exaggerated and sort of like that, and
Yeah,
A
in
little
some
stilted.
anime.
some anime, yeah, there is some.
Not 90% of it, just
Yeah.
some. But yeah, I gotta go see that damn movie.
No, it's fun. I think we're going again on Tuesday, but
Sweet.
well,
yeah.
of this week, whatever mystery week this is recording.
And the soundtrack is awesome. It's a dude who did
Yeah.
the Game of Thrones soundtrack. Which
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't recognize his name in the credits, but it was just like that was some triumphant anthems right there. The theme.
super catchy, but really cool rhythmic stuff, and yeah, bit different from a typical movie soundtrack. I think
Mm.
a bit more repetitive, almost kind of like video game music in a way, which is cool.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
you-
here's the
name.
one Jaeger theme. We're just gonna bring it back like over and over again. We're gonna do different stuff with it every time, but it's just like a 5-note theme. It's like that's kind of cool. Towerfall has some stuff like that. It's a little bit inspired by Game of Thrones.
And it's out now, I hear.
It's out now on OUYA.
Like, have you guys had to do like a promotional tour of any kind or something?
We
Like,
kind
I
of did
mean,
there's a funny moment where Matt was going to go to GDC.
okay.
He was taking Towerfall at GDC, and he was like, "You want to come to GDC?" And at the time, I was like, "I don't know." had this situation with an ex-girlfriend who's an indie game developer, and I was just feeling weird about it, and I didn't want to run into her at GDC. So I was like, maybe I'll just sit this one out. But the last minute, I was like, no, maybe I'll go, whatever. There's so many awesome people there and stuff. Like, it would be a shame not to go. And then at the last minute on the day that we were going to fly, Matt realized his passport had expired.
Oh, man.
So
he had 5 years.
Yeah. But so I'll do my impression of Matt. Okay. Because coming into my room and informing me that this game that he's been working on for months, like, he can't take it to GDC. He's been waiting for this moment for like a long time. He's been super excited to show it off. There's like this IGN press mixer coming up. And it's like huge deal, right? So he comes and he's like, my passport expired, so I'm not going to be able to go to GDC. This sucks. That was it. Like, that's
okay.
Like,
I wish I had my tablet plugged in for the sad music.
That, like, he was so like chill about it.
We'll fix it in post. I'll put some sad music over top of that part.
It wasn't that sad, seems to be the sound.
No, he was totally chill about it. He was like, oh, it sucks. I was like, I'd probably be like, oh, fuck, like, god damn it, like,
yeah.
Oh, like, yeah. He's like, yeah, it's kind of like the worst thing.
Like, it's kind of like the worst, but
so I had to like show off the game, at this press mixer and stuff, which was fun. Like, I thought it was going to be annoying because I usually hate showing off my own games, but this wasn't so much my own game. Like, all I did was music on it and just, talk to Matt about stuff. So, like, it was easier to, like, talk about it for some reason for that. I don't know why that makes a difference, but it's just like, this game's awesome. Here's why it's awesome. It's like, I can do that with other people's games. I find it hard to do with my own games because I feel like a dick.
I think you missed a calling in PR.
Yeah.
And which game was that again?
Towerfall. It's available for $15, which is cheaper than going to see Pacific Rim, which you should also go see.
There you go. Okay.
Also, go buy The Real Texas because it's really cool.
I didn't see that coming at all. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get off of Towerfall for a second and talk more about stuff you've done. Yeah, we've talked a little bit about Aquaria.
Okay.
Stuff.
I'm interested in Marian.
Oh, Marian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh. Okay.
What? What do you want to know?
How's it coming along?
I haven't worked on it in maybe like a year or more.
Okay.
And I actually, when I was visiting Vancouver in August, I did a talk about it at Full Indie. The talk was called "I Am a Failure and You Can Too."
Oh my god! Okay.
And I have a video of it. I haven't decided if I want to release it or not.
Okay.
But yeah, it was basically about working on Marian and how it never got done. And yet I was working super hard on it for like 2 years. And what was happening with it was like I kept restarting it from absolute scratch. Like I would just throw everything out. I would get fed up with it and throw it out and start over. So like there's at least, I think I counted at least 9 major prototypes, like 9 sort of restart points.
Oh, wow.
They can kind of be like they can kind of be simplified down to like maybe like 3 or 4. But within that, there are like these other variations. But it was kind of like, okay, so it's like this 2.5D platformer, and then it's like, no, now it's like 2D, and like was a dividing point between some of the prototypes. But even within those, there was other things like gameplay wise, like, okay, like the game is about these themes, and it's about this gameplay, and I'm going to try doing those things, and then realizing like those things don't mesh at all. So it was like game with like dark themes about how people interact and stuff like that, and then ideas of like manipulation. So you have like a character who's a marionette, and you have a character who's just this really large humanoid figure who can like grab her strings and move her around and stuff. And then there's the player who also moves her around. So I thought there's this interesting visual thematic idea of, you know, how stories and games have characters, but the player's kind of like yanking on the strings of the character, trying to make them do different things. And there might be conflict between like the story and the gameplay. but you could actually comment on that using this metaphor of a marionette, right? But I just ran into the actual problem of story versus gameplay, like not really story per se, but like thematic stuff versus gameplay.
Like, what was the story you wanted to tell? Wasn't clear, or was it like
no? It was like
gameplay?
The story was thematically clear, but the problem was making the gameplay like convey that, because the gameplay I wanted to do was all physics stuff, and physics stuff is just always silly. Like it always looks silly. It doesn't look brooding and serious. It looks really silly. So like that was frustrating, because it's like, okay, I want this, I had this intro where you start off controlling Marian, and she's just a lifeless marionette, and slowly she comes to life, and different parts of her body become activated. It's like, oh, her arm is alive now, and her arm can move around. Her legs are alive, and she can stand up and start walking, but her back isn't like hasn't become under control yet, so it's just flopping around. And like, I had that prototype. It was so hard to prototype that. It was like a blend of like animation stuff, but then like ragdoll stuff. It's like half of the character would be ragdolling while like her legs were being animated and stuff. And it looked really creepy and cool like some of the time, and then it looked absolutely silly some of the other time, right? So it's like trying to control that is nuts. Like, and it was already so much work just to get to that point, like to get all those animations made. We had to like shoot reference with like, I think my girlfriend at the time, my sister, I like have them act stuff out for me and shoot it so the animator could like almost like rotoscope it in 3D, and then like put that in the game, and then like get all the scripts hooked up to it. They were all really complicated and messy because there's so much stuff going on in this intro, and that's just an intro. Like, it's not even like core gameplay. It's just, it takes like 10 minutes to play through or 5 minutes to play through. Right. It's like, that's like 3 months of work or something just for this intro. So I think at some point it was like, this isn't worth it. Like, and then I'd go and focus on others. I wouldn't be exclusively working on intros. It would be like, okay, I'm working on core gameplay and doing this and that. But it was really hard to find out like what in the core gameplay would resonate with the themes super well. The idea was always like, okay, she's got these strings, and at some point she breaks her strings and she escapes from this character who's keeping her prisoner, and then she starts using her strings to like do stuff, so she can throw them and attach them to stuff and swing around and like pick things up, and maybe she can attach other things to the end of the string, like scissors, and cut things, and fighting these toy soldier enemies where she can reach around and pull the key that's powering them out of their back, and they fall down powerless. And I prototyped like so much stuff, but it never really felt like it was gelling. Like, it never really felt like, oh yeah, this is working, it's flowing. It just, yeah. And I had different versions I made with different developers too. Like, I worked with Kyle Pulver for a while. He was doing level design, and so it's a version of the game that it's like an hour-long play through, but it feels very Kyle Pulvery. It's just like, you beat this level, and then you beat this level, and then you beat this level. Okay. And I really wanted it to feel like a whole world, kind of like Aquaria, where you would go right, up, left, down, back, backtrack, go here, go there. And this was just, no, you go left to right, you go through the level, you solve the little puzzle, and you go on and you deal with this level. Doing that thing where it feels kind of subconscious. You're just playing, you're not really thinking to yourself, you're just like doing stuff, and that's a cool experience for some games, but that's not the experience I wanted for Marian. I wanted it to be more like, oh, what area am I in? Like, this looks cool. How do I really want to get up there, but I don't know how. I'm gonna like explore a bit and see if there's a way to get up there. And so I did another version with Matt Thorson. He was helping me with level design, and that was a bit better. That was a 2D one. And the game started to be a lot more about flying, oddly enough, or flinging yourself and sort of floating down. So like, you'd be swinging around using your string and jumping all over the place. So it was a lot more platformy, I think, because Matt was involved. And it started to become a bit more nonlinear too. There was like, we were working on this hub area that was just really fun to like jump and swing around and grab things and do stuff like that. And But then when we started working on each of the different areas, it became linear again. And it kind of felt a bit like Rayman Origins, where it was like we were starting to get some pretty 2D art going, but it was just kind of like, hey, just go through this level. And there's things, like mechanics keep popping up. And it's fun to play through, but it just didn't have that like Aquaria type thing where it's like, this is like connected to this, and I want to go here so I can get there. And so
it's strange. I was just playing Rayman Origins yesterday, but
yeah,
liking parts of it, but it's very it's very straight. Just go to the right, just do the thing, slide around, collect the stuff. Like there's not a lot of wider worlds stuff in there. Like the snore tree is kind of fun, but I don't know.
Yeah, there definitely is stuff. Like it's definitely not just a straightforward platformer. Yeah, but it not doesn't have. Like I wanted there to be this sense that you'd sort of lived in this world for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had stuff where you could just go sit on chairs and it like didn't do anything. In the 3D version, it would like change the camera angle and you just like sit in this chair and chill out. And I was like, I wanted to put more stuff like that. It was just like, oh, you just go. And that was kind of another weird mix where it was like, that's kind of adventure game stuff, or almost kind of like, I don't want to say innovative, but like just anti-game stuff. It's not like gameplay motivated. It's just, just go chill out and check out this thing. More of an experience type thing. Mm-hmm. But then mixing that with like the stuff that Kyle and Matt would come up with, which was more like pure game mechanics. Like, here is the game mechanic, here's how you use it, now we're going to use it and juice it, and now you're done, and now we bring in this other mechanic and mix it with that mechanic, and that stuff works. It's fun. Mm-hmm. It's just not, it just wasn't giving me the right vibe, and I couldn't really figure out like, okay, am I going to make it more of an adventure game? Am I going to make it more like a straightforward platformer? And it kind of needed to be all of those things. So
I'm trying to think of games that have that like very like a truly dark, somber tone, and like I don't know, like you could easily subvert almost any game into a comedy if you play it right. So I don't know, like, do you have any points of like reference for you that you're like, oh, this game really got dark and moody? Probably like I'm thinking of stuff that tries to do that sort of, but like Max Payne is kind of silly in its way. Like it's super dramatic. Like I just played Alan Wake. It's kind of over dramatic, but it kind of camps it up on purpose.
Limbo.
Limbo. Okay.
Yeah, like I think that's the thing, right? Like, because a lot of games overdo it, and I really wanted it to be more subtle because that's the kind of experience I want in a game. I want this kind of moody world. Like, it feels like you're walking out on a cloudy day and it feels kind of cold out, and maybe it's autumn or something. Like, that's the kind of feeling I was going for. Mm-hmm. There have been moments in games that have got that for me, but they're really like random. Like, there's the shitty Super Nintendo Lord of the Rings game. There's this, when you leave Hobbiton, there's this like really gray field with this certain type of music, and just the combination of the way it looks in the music to me is like, that's something that I'd want to do. But the game is crap. Like, it's not. I would never recommend that game to anyone. But it's just sort of like, oh, there's a little spark of that thing that I like, and then to be somewhere else in some other game, like Silicon Knights games, like the original Blood Omen and Eternal Darkness had some moments that did that, but those were also really clunky and ham-fisted a lot of the time, and I didn't like the ham-fistedness of it. It was just like, like overlook that, but so I really wanted to do stuff where it was more like, no, this is more subtle, and but that's hard to do too when you're doing like platformy stuff. Like, it's not subtle, and like when you're trying to convey gameplay to players, it's not subtle, right? It's like I like to try to obscure the gameplay systems because I don't want to understand the gameplay system when I'm playing. I want to just imagine that it's a real world that I'm visiting.
Right.
But that's opposite to how Matt and Kyle design games. They're like, okay, we're conveying. You need to know where the hitbox is. You need to know where the stuff. You need to understand kind of what's going on mechanically, so you can like start to play with it and not be confused. But I kind of like when it's like, I don't know exactly if I'm doing this or not, and there's a bit of like, you're kind of wondering and you're making stuff up in your head. You're like maybe it's this or maybe it's that, and maybe for some of the things in your game you're never quite sure what it is.
Sounds maybe like just like a creative differences type
Yeah.
like, thing,
Yeah.
where it's like the definition of gameplay or whatever. Like, just with some of the stuff you're saying, like I'm kind of thinking of like there's a game that people have been talking up lately, like Starseed Pilgrim, where you just figure it out, kind of.
Yeah.
And I have yet to figure it out, but I'm still kind of
I
curious.
suck at that game. But
I don't know what I'm
it's
doing.
broken
I'm just
game.
planting stuff and climbing around, but I'm like eventually I got a key, and I was like, all right, I got a key. Now I can go back and go here. So all right, that does something. And then like you're just supposed to kind of figure, or like it's super stripped down. But we brought up Eki, like Proteus is kind of just like a mood piece, right? Like you just
totally. So I wanted something that was not like kind of like those, but different. Where like, because the thing I don't like about Starseed Pilgrim is it just doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel like anything. It's just a bunch of mechanics and they're kind of obscure.
Like, too abstract
but it doesn't feel. It doesn't feel like it's mechanics used to convey a particular mood necessarily. Now I don't know because I haven't played enough of it yet, so I could be talking out of my ass. Like I just played it for 5 minutes. So
like a moment there.
Yeah, there could be really cool
weird
moments and stuff. Yeah, but it just, to me, looking at it, it's like, oh, there's a bunch of blocks. The blocks do things that to me seems like typical game stuff, even if it is obscure. And then Proteus is kind of like, as far as I understand, there's no gameplay from a traditional standpoint. Like you wander around and things happen.
You have the ability to walk, and you walk close to some things, and stuff will happen and whatever. But
and I would love to play something that's like Proteus, but you just interact with the world more. Like you can like do stuff and change things and accomplish things, but you maybe don't know what the goals are at first. And so that's sort of the thing I've been chasing. Like that's, for me personally, that's what I really, really want to get at it eventually. And I think what I realized with Marian is I just don't know how to do that yet. Like eventually I was kind of, I don't know how to actually get to where I want to go with this project yet. So I just don't think I understand game design well enough. And that's kind of the conclusion I came to after like however long it was, 2 years of working on it and working with lots of different people and trying lots of different versions of the team and versions of the game. It was kind of like, I was like, I gotta just do something else for a while. So I did a bunch of like smaller things, and those are really great because they were like Planet Punch with Matt was just like, let's do whatever the fuck we feel like doing, and we'll make a good game, but let's just like creatively, let's just go nuts. Like, because we had actually both been working on games that were like where we thought of the theme first and not the gameplay first. He was working on this game called Quantum Zoe, and I was working on Marian, and they both sucked, kind of. Like they both just didn't really like get there. They both had cool visual audio stuff going on and some cool ideas, but they never really clicked. So we're kind of like cleaning our palette, and I think we're just like, we're gonna make this game about punching stuff in the face. After this, working on these games with these like lofty ambitions, it's like, no, you're like a sun that's about to blow up, and you steal Earth from our sun, and then you whack things in the face with Earth.
Okay,
makes sense.
And then the next planet you get is Uranus, because that's the most hilarious one.
Of course,
it's the funniest planet. Yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah, so it's just this really stupid game, and it was just really fun to work on. Because part of the problem of working on something that's so thematically restricted is it's just, you just feel trapped. You're like, I really want to just write like this goofy song, but I can't because this doesn't fit in this game. Right? And I think that's just a shitty way to make things. Like, I wonder if like I'd been just more open to Marian changing into something totally different if I would have gotten to the point where it was finished. If it had just been like, well, maybe it's a goofy game.
Right.
What would that like? And I had a really hard time like feeling motivated to work on it if it was going to be a goofy game. Like, I didn't set out to make, like, I don't mind if it's funny and silly at times, but
right.
Overall, I wanted this certain feel to it, right? And it's like, no, there's just like this goofy thing you flop around, and it's like, no, that's not. So, I don't know. It's always kind of hard because I have like this folder full of videos from prototypes.
Yeah.
Because every time I prototype a new feature, I make a little quick video of it and show it to the people I was working with. So there's just tons of stuff, so much work in that game. Like, there's a prototype trailer as well that we made. We showed it to Microsoft and a few other people, and they were interested in it and stuff. And that's hard to watch, to go back and watch that and just see, like, yeah, look at all this stuff that we were doing, and now it's gone. And it's, when you look back on it, you see it seems better than it was in a way, because I think at the time it's hard to see the positive qualities of it because you're so focused on fixing all the things that don't work about it.
Yeah.
But going back, it's like, oh man, there's so much stuff in there that I just really love that is not present in things that I'm working on now. And that's kind of like the kind of thing that makes me feel sad when I look back on it. I'm like, yeah, like eventually I need to do something like that again. Maybe not Marian, but something that has that kind of feel to it, whatever that is.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, for what it's worth, I like everything I've seen of it, even though everything's so different. So you were on the right track at some points, I think. I would like to see it finish one day, but I mean,
not to, if it's I want to guilt tripping or anything.
No, I do, because I want to play.
No, that's cool.
Okay.
I think it would be. I think it would be a kind of a cool personal challenge I could give myself at some point to be like, okay, but I have to actually be like, what I've realized is, for me, it's better if I'm finding people I like working with rather than thinking about projects I want to do.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I like working with this person. Let's make a game together. Let's not say it has to be this or that. Let's just make stuff. And then whatever happens to work, we go with. That's like a way
eventually
smarter
it may
way.
work out. Yeah. Okay.
It's a way smarter way to do it, but like it doesn't lend itself to things like that, like because the way I was trying to make Marian, I think, was kind of backwards from that. It's like trying to find people who can help me make this specific thing instead of like, oh, I happen to find this person, we happen to get along really well and work well together. Let's just make something. I don't care what it is, as long as it's something we both like, right?
Yeah.
That just seems to work way better. So that's what I've been rolling with right now, and it's been really fun and positive and happy. And so, like, all the people I'm collaborating with, it's just like, this is fun. I'm enjoying it. It's great. And the only downside to it is just I'm missing that specific, feel that Marian had, because just none of these projects happen to have that.
Yeah.
But I can't really complain. Yeah.
It was just like listening to Infinite Ammo kind of in the order I became familiar with those developers. Like, I kind of totally lost track of the timeline of that. So, like, I did the current status. Like, it was I'd hear you talking about it, like, on my iPod.
As if it was like an active project.
Oh, this must have just happened. Like, you just lose sense of, it's like, no, this was years ago, dude. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 But
it's weird how that works like that.
Temporal.
Yeah, maybe someday it'll come back somehow if I can think of a way to do it. It's always hard because when you've talked about stuff publicly, it feels like there's not like a ton of people probably who know about it, but there's at least some who know about it and have expectations for it. So like one of the moments right before I quit working on it, quote unquote, for good, was I had the version that Matt and I was working at GDC. And one of my friends, Evan Balster, was checking it out. He was just I didn't tell him what it was. I was just playing around with it. And he was like, is that Marian? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, is that the full version of Marian? And my heart just sank. Because he didn't think it was living up to what he had imagined. It was just like, it looked like because I had it on iPad at that point too. I was like, I'm going to work on it on iPad and see where that leads. And I think he thought it was kind of like this cheapo iPad physics game.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's not what I was going for at all. And so I was just super discouraged by that.
It sounds like so rough though. Like like it sounds like you kind of start with like, I want to produce this emotion in people, or I want to get this reaction, and then like how do you do that? Like you have to work backwards from like this weird hypothetical.
I think it's wrong to go for to want people to experience a specific emotion. Like, I think that's a wrong thing to be motivated by.
Right.
I kind of realized that. I remember talking to Edmund about that on my podcast, like whatever episode that was pretty early on, but I remember Edmund being like upset
or something.
Yeah, he like didn't get the specific thing, and I was like, that's fine. People take whatever they want out of it. I'm cool with that. It just it needs to feel right to me. And then if I release it and people think, oh, this is stupid, then okay, whatever. But if I know that I did it right for what I was going for, then I know there's going to be some other people where that resonates, because that happened with Aquaria in really weird ways. Like, I remember there's this girl who started like a fan page for me on Facebook just around the music for Aquaria.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her, like, oh, like, what do you like about the music and stuff? And she's like, I don't know. Like, sometimes when I listen to it, it just like makes me cry out of nowhere, kind of, because it's sad. And I was like, yeah, I was pretty depressed when I was making that game. And the fact that carries over, I think I tell this story a lot on my own podcast, so I feel bad repeating it. But it is that kind of weird thing of just like, yeah, I think if you do put the way that you feel into a thing, it can come out the other end and affect people and who see things kind of similarly. And so that's the main reason for me to like be motivated to do something like this. Is just like, yeah, I feel this way sometimes about things, and I want to share that with people in this really intimate way, where they're playing a single player game and they invest all this time and they come away with this experience. And so that's something I miss about the projects I'm working on now, because they're more fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'm working on Towerfall music. Like, that's a fun game. Everyone loves it. That's awesome. Everyone likes the music. And Crypt of the Necro Dancer is another game I'm doing music for. It's a rhythm roguelike. So it's kind of like DDR mashed up with roguelikes. So like, there's a song playing, you have to move on the beat, but then you're trying to kill monsters and stuff. And that's been great to work on, and it's super fun. I'm collaborating with Danny B on the music, and the music's really silly and like dance, like weird sort of Castlevania dance music and stuff.
Huh.
And
there's some good tunes in those Castlevania games, so I got
really good, yeah.
And working on a prototype with Adam Saltzman that's also really fun, and that's where I actually get to code, which is good. And then I'm working on this Infinite Legend prototype that's like a kind of like Mario Sunshine, but you have a sword. So like
specifically Sunshine.
Yeah, just the moveset from Sunshine, kind of like where you can dash and like jump out of a dash, and kind of the way the wall jumping works and stuff like that.
Okay.
We also want to put the sort of side backflip move and stuff, and just because the platforming in that game felt really great.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to not enjoy that one, but it had merits.
Everyone I talk to loves it, but I think I'm talking to the people who, they're kind of like developers, and they're like, man, that game, like, nobody likes that game, but I love it. And I'm like, hey, I like that game too. Like,
right.
Everyone kind of
went in some weird, bold directions for that series, and then they kind of went back to, he's this quiet guy that jumps around, and yeah.
I don't know. It's a really joyful game to play for some reason. Mm-hmm. It just feels amazing, like just the moveset and how you can chain all the different moves together. You do like the thing where you shoot water in front, you slide on the water, so you go faster, and you jump flip out of it, and like hit a wall and jump off it. And the cool thing about this game is it's like merging combat with that. So like doing like a slam attack from a higher height does more damage and affects a larger radius. So you can like wall jump up and then like slam on an enemy, or jump off an enemy's head to stun him while you stab another enemy and stuff like that.
But you have a lot of control over your height, kind of?
Yeah, the control is just really tight. And so the cool thing about that is, like, because Matt and I were talking about like action RPGs like Zelda and also how much we love like Mario games. And we're like, why can't you make the combat just really fun like how a Mario game is fun? Like, it shouldn't have to be walking around and just whacking stuff. So that's kind of, I guess, the direction that project is going in. It's like really fun combat and really fun platforming stuff. But that one's probably a ways off because there's just a ton of work that has to be done on it, and I've been super busy and other stuff. But yeah, I finally sort of figured out how to do 3D platformer stuff in Unity properly in a way that actually feels like Mario.
Okay.
So that was really satisfying to eventually code like all the Marian platformer stuff never felt right. I was trying to integrate it with physics, and was trying to use Unity stuff, and kind of what I did was just do my own thing for this prototype instead, using more of my own kind of collision system, and it's way better. I can control stuff way more. So that's been satisfying.
For a while there, you like I've only heard this, but like, were you doing kind of Unity tutorials for people, trying to help people figure that out?
Yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned the Game Maker community earlier. Like, I don't know, like, there's been like a lot of encouragement seems to be coming from you to like get people to do that stuff, right? To get into game development themselves.
Yeah, I was big on that for a while, especially when I was involved in the scene in Winnipeg. I wanted to try and start up some education stuff too. I was looking at doing that, and yeah, I just burped on this podcast. That's awesome.
That's the quality we strive for, so thank you.
Nice. Yeah, like I did one Unity tutorial. I think it has like 200,000 views now. Like people came up to me at GDC and they're like, "Oh, they knew me because of the Unity tutorial, but nothing else." They're just
okay.
You're that Unity tutorial guy. I'm like, I am, okay, like cool. But I haven't done anything since then, so I don't know. I was thinking of, we have a Twitch TV channel for Indie House Vancouver, and Matt streams his level design stuff, and I stream my music writing stuff.
Yep.
And Chevy streams like his stuff. So like, I was thinking of maybe just doing a tutorial that's more hands-on, like just go on Twitch TV and open up Unity and just show people what I'm working on and how I made it and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that sometime and see if people are into that. Because my tutorials are way out of date. Like, they're all in JavaScript, and I use C# now and stuff. So everything is C#. Indie House is exclusively C#. So, but yeah, it's exciting to help people out with that.
Okay. I guess I'm just trying to, like, I don't know, like, I'm just kind of sitting here with Game Maker and like a notebook full of ideas and nothing's happening, and like, I don't know, like, at some point you just have to stop playing games or something to like make room, or do you still play a lot of stuff? Or
I hardly play anything, which is kind of bad. Like, I should be playing more, but I've just been working most of the time.
Okay.
Or sometimes I'll play other people's prototypes, but I haven't really, like, other than Hotline Miami, I haven't sat down and played through anything for a long time. So,
okay.
But I don't think you have to do that. I think it's a better idea to keep playing games and
like budget time accordingly somehow.
But yeah, I think for us, like, we're just motivated to make games, so that's just what we do with our time. Like, we wake up and we're excited. We want to get to work, you know. So not everyone's like that, or sometimes people are nervous about starting, I think. I know I have that experience sometimes where I'm like, I need to write this song, but I'm just not even starting it because I'm just worried about, like, it's probably not going to sound very good, or I don't know how to...
Like, negative feedback is intimidating? Or...
Yeah, sometimes there's that, like, I don't know if people are going to like this, and eventually you get back to the point of, like, no, I just want to make some stuff. We'll see what happens, you know? So the longer you can stay in that state of just sort of, like, the curiosity thing, I guess, we're just like, I want to try this and see how it goes,
and then put it out there and see, you know.
Yeah, or don't. Like,
okay.
Depending on what, you know, it is. Yeah, I mean, like, the first thing you make is going to be shit, and then the second thing you make is going to be shit, and like, it's gonna take a long time to actually make something that people are going to like, but
it's true.
That's totally fine. That's the hurdle you have to get over. And the disadvantage of starting as an adult is you don't have that childlike innocence thing where you can just make stuff and not worry about what people think, right? And I miss that about being a kid. Like, when I was a kid, I just make stuff. I didn't give a crap about whether anyone liked it. So part of Indie House too, I think, is to try and get back into that state where it's just fun to try things. Just like, I'm going to try making this, and everyone's like, sweet, do it, you know, versus like, I don't know if, like, that's a great idea, like, I'm not sure if, you know, that's going to be really commercially viable. It's like, no, it doesn't matter. It's just try. Like, it's good to just try stuff. The commercial stuff matters when it gets to that point, you know, like when it gets further along and it's like, okay, now I need to actually worry about what people think about this. But I think when you're just starting out and you're just experimenting, you need to give yourself that freedom to just try whatever Yeah, because a lot of people, when they start, they're like, I'm not a game developer. I could never make games. And they kind of just talk themselves out of even learning it. Because the only thing stopping them from getting to that point is themselves. You know, they're sitting there being like, I can't do it. It's like, well, it's because you're just saying I can't do it. Like,
Yeah.
the only way to figure out how to do it is to try and fail like a lot. And then eventually figure out, you know, which things work and which things don't.
That's our life motto.
Yeah.
Try and figure stuff out and lost
The first 20 episodes of the main podcast we do, fucking terrible.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
They're so bad.
We keep them up there for lessons learned.
Actually, I didn't keep them up there. It was some of our community gave me the files back because I had deleted them.
Oh yeah, that'll happen. Yeah.
So they archived them and then I put them back up.
That's
Yeah.
cool that they did that. That means that they were worth listening to, I think.
They were so dumb. They were so bad. Oh my god.
Well, you know, you're your own harshest critic. So I haven't listened to them. I don't. Yeah, I won't go back.
Yeah, don't go back. We talked a lot about Nazis.
Oh wow.
What? Oh no, that's because Lars von Trier said that thing.
No, I know.
Oh,
and we
I
were going to
forgot
do
that.
the Holocaust.
That was also. Well, we were going to compare movies on
Schindler's
that topic.
List and The
The
Pianist.
Pianist.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roman Polanski. That's an important topic. I don't know.
There was like 5 episodes in a row where we talked about doing it too. We never did.
All right.
So
Let's not
Holocaust
make
coming
this
up
another
soon.
one. No,
So
don't
this
do
is
that.
gonna be. This is it. It's the return.
Oh,
It's the return of the Holocaust.
Well, this
So-
is the Alec Holowka, so it works out.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Towerfall is out now. See that?
Towerfall is
That's
out. I
a
don't know if you
callback.
guys knew about
Yeah.
it, but it's a
Call
game.
back. Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Anyways, I think we
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Infinite Ammo, like
Sure.
the podcast specifically, because not necessarily if it wasn't just for you. However, you were a huge stepping stone into us being like, hey, we could kind of probably do this. Like talk to
Yes.
people we're interested in what they do and stuff. So I'd like to thank you, first of all,
Oh,
because
thanks. That's cool.
without that little stepping stone, we wouldn't be doing this right now with you, for one thing. But some of the names, or like the people you've got to come onto your show, like, are they all just kind of friends of yours? Because there's some bigger indie names on there that, well, maybe they blew up after, I guess. Specifically, Edmund I'm talking about because...
No, I was friends with Edmund from before.
Yeah.
Sort of like from, I guess, Aquaria coming out. Kind of knew him through Derek a bit, and I think I also talked to him on my own a little bit.
Mhm.
We kind of knew of each other.
Sure.
We're not super close, but there's definitely some kind of mutual respect thing going on. And he was like, I think on the podcast I talked about how he was one of my heroes back in the day because he was like one of the only indie guys who I knew of who was successful, you know, because of Gish.
Yeah.
And he proposed to his wife, you know, at the IGF Awards, and I thought that was cool and cute and stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's Adam Saltzman is your first episode.
Oh, I'm a big friend of Adam's.
I'm a big
I'm a fan too, but no, like yeah, we're pretty close. We met some GDC. It was like my second GDC. I guess like the year after Aquaria came out or something, and like we just met through the Tig Source forums.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is before he was like a big deal, and it was me and my girlfriend at the time and Adam like splitting a hotel together because it was just like a thing on Tig Source forums, like who wants to split a hotel, and he's just like the loveliest person. So just from there, kind of we just talked a lot, and I've been over to his house. There's a thing where a bunch of indies flew down to his house in Austin, and we all stayed over together, like a giant sleepover for Austin GDC or something like that, and hung out. And Phil Fish was there, and Steve Swank, and Matthew Wagner, and a bunch of other people. And so that's kind of the cool thing about that podcast, I guess, is that it's usually people I know, but there have been some people who just like Chris Van Yperen. I didn't know him at all, and he just like contacted me because he listened to the podcast and wanted to be on it, and I was like, sure, like why not?
Yeah.
And he's like a really cool guy, lives in Vancouver, and we had a really good conversation and stuff. So, and it's also been a way to meet people,
Sure.
which is
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, usually it's people I'm friends with because then I know a lot about them and I can kind of draw out the interesting topics.
Sure.
And I'm usually really excited and happy to tell people about them or have them tell their story to other people, things like that. So
Very
next person I want to have on is Kimberly Vole. She organizes game jams in Winnipeg, Vancouver.
cool. Okay.
And she just did one called I Am a Gamer that was about strong female game characters. It was a really weird jam. Yeah, it was a funky jam. But she also teaches game design stuff here and does like a million other things and works on her own games. And so she's kind of a really unique, cool person and interesting personality and interesting backstory. So I've been trying to get her. I'm trying to find like 3 hours where we can sit down and do like an epic podcast, but she's just super busy. So
Yeah. That's
so
understandable.
that. She's also now in a relationship with Andy Moore, who was on my podcast, which is kind of funny. So that's like some podcast romance going on. Maybe we can talk about that too.
You are the love line for indies in Vancouver.
Yes, I'm.
There you go.
A matchmaker.
Matchmaker.
Yes.
InfiniteAmmo.ca for all your matchmaking.
Yes, I should run a dating service on my website for.
Might as well. I mean, why not, right?
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be. So, InfiniteAmmo.ca, spelled exactly how it sounds, is your website. People can go there. That's where your podcast is hosted with the RSS feed and all that good stuff. Where can people reach you if they wanted to ask you questions or talk to you or any
Probably
of that
the
good stuff?
best place to get like recent updates and actually get my attention is on Twitter. So that's twitter.com/infinite_ammo. There's an underscore in there for my Twitter handle. But yeah, Twitter is where everything happens for me, pretty much.
Very cool. I think that's all we're going to have for today. So, as
Okay,
always,
guys.
thanks for listening. Thank you, Alec, for hanging out. It's been a good time.
Yeah, good times, man.
And we'll talk to
Good
you guys
chat.
next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.